What on earth is going on? Getting to the point now. It all boils down to your gut. Okay. It boils down to your intestines and keeping them healthy and keeping the aliens that are in those guts healthy. Um, and to avoid things that make them unhealthy. Okay. Now, I had leaky gut, and leaky gut uh, comes about because certain foods that you eat cut into the very, very fine, thin skin cells of your gut lining. And the reason it's so thin is so that all the nutrients can be absorbed and get into your bloodstream and get it wherever it's got to go. But the point is that there are things that you eat that actually cut holes in them. Okay, then everything goes through, the good and the bad and the ugly. So you've got to be, I think, very careful, and that's one of the things that I've concentrated on over many years. And so just a word of advice, because you're not going to get better if you have a leaky gut. Okay. And I felt really sad about that when I first came across it, and I wanted to just give up. Okay. That happens when you get despondent, because there is so much information out there on the internet, just so much. It is just mind-boggling, and you have no idea what is the truth and what is not the truth. And that makes me sad. And I get down in the dumps as well. But I progressed. I kept my journals going. I kept trial and error. Eat this, see what happens. Eat that, see what happens. And I sort of detected certain ways that I could detect whether something was wrong. I remember about 5 years ago, I was eating a salad that had 16 ingredients in it. I just loved it. I just threw, this was good, this is good, this is good, and I threw it in and threw it in, and it's fine. But then there was something now, and this is coming to the point of saying that you can detect within yourself. First of all, if you start immediately after eating, or while eating even, your nasal passages start getting a little bit blocked, and there's something that you're allergic to in that salad. I thought to myself, of 16, which is what happened. Okay. Other times you eat something, and well, for myself, certainly within a short period of time, sort of 15 to 30 minutes after eating, I get diarrhea. Okay. Now, those are your body warning signs, or were for me. Okay. And I didn't feel bad about rushing off and to the toilet, and because I now knew that there was something, and then I would come back and say to my wife, right, what was in that? And so I moved forward, and I found out that there were certain things that were really, really healthy according to the health fanatics that were not healthy for me. Okay, for me. So, and this is what I'm sharing with you, is that there are ways you can detect, okay, that what is healthy and what is not healthy by your sort of feeling. You might get a tummy ache. Okay, that's what have you just eaten? Okay, and so you move forward, documenting. Unless you write it down, you're going to forget it. We are humans, are animals of habit. We just carry on and carry on and carry on, and we think of something, we change something now for the next 3 or 4 days, and then we forget about it. So one needs to document it. You need to put things up on the fridge that you need to remind yourself for the rest of the year. Maybe it's absolutely a terrible thing for you to eat, or it's an absolutely marvelous thing that you've now learned and you trust is good. Okay. And I want to also share with you what I came across, and it's probably for me, when I came across it, and I researched it, man, I felt good. Okay. I felt there was something. Now, that's another thing that you need to respond to. You need to respond to those feelings of aha, and respond to intuition and those light bulb moments. You need to do that. For me, it's made things so much easier when I realize that I'm moving forward. And one of the worst things is when you listen to one of those health videos that go on forever and ever and ever, and so in the pharmaceutical too. And you think, oh, that's nice, but it just goes on, and then they sell you something at the end. I mean, that's not the way to research. All right, it's I would say probably 75%. You get some knowledge, and then you get a feeling, and then you try it, and then you get a feeling, or you get a reaction, and that's the way to do it, because then you're moving in the right direction for longevity. There's no doubt in my mind. And so the big thing that I found that I think is the I don't know, one of the biggest kept secrets in the world, okay, and that is something called butyrate. Butyrate fixes the holes in your gut, fixes your leaky gut. I'm telling you, I thought, okay, so I've got, because leaky gut doesn't usually come from a meal or two. It's something that progresses. You know, if you're eating whole wheat bread for months and months or even years, it's going to give you a leaky gut. Okay, the lectins in that dark brown, supposedly the healthiest part of the whole wheat bread, cuts your gut. Okay, and there are other things that too, but that's probably the biggest one, because we're always trying. We're going to eat bread. We want the healthiest bread. Okay, if you're going to eat bread, I'm telling you, eat the whitest sourdough bread. Okay, and if you don't like sourdough, it's not much, doesn't taste too bad. I love it. Okay, then just eat the plain white bread. Okay, toast it. Okay, because that's got the least amount of lectins in it that are going to cut up your gut. So don't go running out there and thinking, I must get this healthy, this and this healthy thing, because butyrate will cut all the nonsense, cut through everything, and it will fix your gut. Okay, but there are two things that you need for your gut to produce butyrate. You need butyrate, and you need to feed your gut with what's going to enhance that. Okay, so what do you need? You need probiotics. Okay, old hat, yes, but you need probiotics. It's one of the things that I'm absolutely convinced, and it's helped me immensely. But probiotics are useless unless you feed the probiotics. Okay, probiotics won't work, and butyrate will not work only with probiotics. You need prebiotics. Okay, you need prebiotics, and so prebiotics feed the probiotics, and then from that your stomach can make the butyrate. And so what is a probiotic? Let's get there. Some good probiotics. Basically, anything that's fermented is get good probiotics. You get it in really full cream yogurt with biotic, that is the added, and it's live, and it says big on the label. But boy, you get some chances, manufacturers there. So you're going to have to trial and error, research the companies and see if they're genuine, see if they really care about the society, or they're just another lying consumeristic manufacturer. And you know, I had my source in one country that I lived in, and now I'm in another country. I found my source, and it's great. And you know, you can see whether people are involved with organic farming, for example. And there are lots of little details, but I don't want to go into those details now. So yogurt with probiotics is a good rate. Kombucha Okay, I used to make my own kombucha until I found a manufacturer out in La Farm, Ghana, that makes a far better kombucha with far more probiotics than I ever had. So that fermented vegetables will have probiotics in them, and yeah. So it's nothing new, but you just got to make sure that they're genuine, and you need as many varieties of probiotics. No use saying, and that was one of the problems when I made my own kombucha, is I really only had like 2 probiotics there, and so 2 different varieties, and you should really have about 7 or more probiotics, but certainly more than 2. So look at the label. I have another product which, and remember, I don't sell products, all right, and I don't make any money, but it's a hemp seed concentrate, okay, fermented hemp seed concentrate that you just pour into your water, okay, and you drink it, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons a day, and that's getting a whole variety. Hemp seed is one of the best places to get your probiotics, and a whole lot of things. Hemp seed is really is a superfood. For a lot of other reasons, but this fermented hemp seed is really great. So if you get it in your country, that's fine. Then the prebiotics. The prebiotics. Now, yeah, there are lots of things that people talk about as prebiotics, but let's just get down to basics and natural. And it reminds me of a story. I suddenly found something growing in my compost heap, and I thought, what on earth is this? It wasn't a proper compost heap. I used to mix my soil in there from old pots and things, and put in new rejuvenated soil, and liven up the soil, and put in worms and things like that, and use that soil. But something started growing in there, and I let it grow, and it turned out to be celery. And I didn't grow celery. I hadn't tried to grow celery, so I don't know where it came from. I didn't try to grow celery. Okay. And now it's like taken over my whole. I've let it grow. I started to water it after a few months of seeing it growing on its own. And now celery is one of those prebiotic foods, really a powerful prebiotic food. So if you like celery, if you don't like chewing it or something, that's fine. Cut it up, put it in a soup, make a celery soup. My wife makes a marvelous vegetable soup with all sorts of things in it, and celery is one of them. Another prebiotic food is garlic, and another is asparagus, garlic, asparagus, chicory roots, Jerusalem antichokes, onions. Oh yeah, onions are another one. We eat a lot of onions. And if you're into nibbling nuts and things, which is not a bad thing, walnuts and pistachio nuts are great in producing food for your probiotics, okay? So that the butyrate can really, and you've got no idea. I mean, the butyrate is going to protect your brain. It's going to protect you from Alzheimer's, all around butyrate, okay? And it's quite simple if you just focus on it. And then, just do away with the things that are going to cut your gut up inside, like pizzas, those sort of things. Just leave them out, okay? But I really wanted to tell you, I felt good when I came across this, and it makes an enormous difference, because yes, you can have some of this and that's sort of not good for your gut, but that if your butyrate is healthy and strong and protecting it, you're in for a good ride and a good life. It's my secret, and it's in my ebook, okay? I love calling it a secret because I want everybody to know about it. So with that, I wish you well. Until next time.